So I try to find a meaning to my job. This really helps me to love what I do, to be proud of what I achieve. And I'm traveling very often. At that moment, I think every week.
Wow.
So this really helped me to resist during tricky moments and when I'm far away from my family.
Today's podcast episode is sponsored by Shiseido. The Japanese beauty and skincare brand has been known for years as a pioneer in technologies and research around beauty, while still keeping and celebrating their Japanese heritage. The latter includes a philosophy known as J-beauty, which is all about taking care of our skin and preventing damage or signs of age rather than fighting them when they've already occurred. The Shiseido Benefiance anti-age products are a prime example for that, as they bring together neurotechnologies with these traditions.
Work or life? The eternal question. As sisterMAG literally has become our life, we want to talk to others about their so-called work-life balance. We are Tony and Thea from the online magazine sisterMAG. Careers of the now. We want to know how people have become what they are now. Not only their second life after a boring job or the lucky shot that made someone famous. We talk to people who are happy about their standing in life and the way that led to it. Careers of the now is a state of mind, because it can mean that you actually do not have a career in its traditional sense at all. Listen to sisterMAG radio podcast to be inspired and to get down to work.
Hello and welcome, dear sisterMAG radio listeners. We are back in the swing, having planned an episode every Friday for the upcoming 7 weeks. After last week's trip to the world of cooking and high cuisine, this time I interview Nathalie Broussard, Scientific Communications Director for Shiseido EMEA. In the interview, Nathalie tells me about her very strategic plan to succeed in the highly competitive beauty industry, starting with leaving her native Morocco to study pharmacy and cosmetics in France, working in different professional departments like R&D, marketing, training and scientific communication at various major cosmetic and dermatological brands, to now managing the scientific communication for Shiseido EMEA. In our talk, we learn more about what this position entails in general, and specifically at Shiseido, a brand that perfectly combines the strength of the East and the West. We also touch on the changing nature of communication with consumers in the beauty field. And last but not least, Nathalie reveals her 3 secrets to a life in balance and happiness.
But before you can listen to the interview that Tony led with Nathalie Broussard of Shiseido, it is me, Thea, who wants to give you a quick overview of what's going on in the sisterMAG office. Today it is live going of issue number 47. I can't believe it's already 47. It is a beautiful, very spring-like issue with a lot of colors, a beautiful cover, and of course our big Easter special. We did a whole Easter party with a lot of DIYs. I asked more than 10 people of how they celebrate Easter, and you can read all about this in the new issue. So I hope that you will click into our info box underneath the podcast and you hop over to sister-mag.com and see for yourself what inspiration you can draw from our newest issue, sisterMAG 47.
Let's dive into my talk with Nathalie. If you want to know more about our partner Shiseido, their product line Benefiance and Shiseido's J-beauty approach, have a look in our new sisterMAG issue for the whole feature. As usual, you'll find the direct link in the podcast notes. Welcome to our podcast interview today. I'm very happy and delighted to speak to you, Nathalie Broussard, today. You are Scientific Communication Director for Shiseido EMEA. And maybe you tell us first who you are and what you do in a short summary so that people immediately know what they can expect today.
Yeah, so nice to see you. So actually, usually I introduce myself as a caring scientific. Meaning that I love to learn from others, but I love also to transmit what I've learned. So that's why I'm a caring scientific. I'm also very curious, open-minded, but I think this is probably due to my foreign and multicultural origin. Because I am French, as you can maybe guess with my accent.
Slightly.
I'm French, but I was born and I grew up in Morocco. Yes, until my 18 years old.
Oh, that's a long time then, yeah.
Yes, it's a long time. After that, I went to France for my study. And since my childhood, I have been very interested by science. I was always trying to find explanation to all that surrounded me. Also, I'm a very, how can I say, a sport lady, because I used to do a lot of sport like classical dance, ballet dance. And I confess that it was one of my old passion. Mm-hmm. And it was also my second wish of career. Uh-huh. Yes, my second wish of career was to become a ballet dancer. I also try to steer my creativity through painting. I love painting, oil painting, aqua painting. So. And today, just to be serious, so I'm based in Paris for more than 15 years. And I manage the scientific communication for Shiseido EMEA.
Mm-hmm. And you said you had like ballerina interests, and then also now your scientific career. What did you study to become what you are now?
Since my teenage, my career first wish was already clear and obvious. I wanted to work in cosmetic and beauty field. Mm-hmm. So, as I was very pragmatic, I was very at ease with all the scientific subjects. I decided to study pharmacy in France. Mm-hmm. That's why I left from Morocco.
Ah, okay.
Yes, to study pharmacy, in order to develop my scientific mindset, but also to benefit from, I would say, a valuable diploma. I wanted to have a strong diploma. Yes, a strong one. Then, after my pharmacy, I completed my background with a master in cosmetic. Mm-hmm. It was more marketing oriented. And then, thanks to my diploma of doctor in pharmacy, I managed to work very easily in the major cosmetic and dermatological brands that was sold in the pharmaceutical channel. Mm-hmm. Then during my professional experience, I really have the chance to work in different type of departments like research and development, marketing, but also training, and now scientific communication. And I think that scientific communication and training much more with my willing to exchange, to keep learning all the time from others, and also to transmit knowledge.
Mm-hmm. And so it was kind of like, did you have like a plan, like, or was it often, is it okay, there was an opportunity and then you just got it and so it developed?
I think it was planned for many years.
It's good.
Yes, once I have something in my head, I cannot get it out. Yes, straight. And that's why I say, okay, I love dance ballet, but I need really to ensure my future and to have a strong diploma. Yeah. And I could have done like a chemical school, a very short, I would say, study. But I really wanted to do pharmacy, which was very long years of study, because I wanted to ensure and to be sure to be able to work in cosmetic, because this diploma really opened you a lot of many doors.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. That's good. In the next part of our interview, I asked Nathalie about her work in scientific communications for beauty brands. In my notion, so far, the two parts that play a role in developing and marketing beauty products are separate and they kind of never meet.
And yes, it's very hard to mix together, both together. So throughout my career, I need to communicate to various public in a scientific way. And I think this is the most challenging part of my position, is how to adapt all the time my speech to the audience, and how to adapt also to their level of science knowledge. Because in front of you, of me, obviously,
people like me,
I have people that have no idea about science, and others that are more confident with it. So the best compliment I could receive is when someone with absolutely no scientific background tells me that he understood everything, that I made science clearer, understandable, and also appealing. So for me, it's really, I can consider my mission is successful when somebody is telling me that kind of compliment. So my interlocutors and my mission is really to talk to journalists, to consumers, to dermatologists, of course, some researchers or collaborators from diverse departments in Shiseido, like marketing, training, etc. Everywhere where science could be provided, the scientific information. And I am the scientific spokesperson for Shiseido EMEA. So my mission is really to communicate on Shiseido research and innovation. I try to valorize all our exclusive technologies. I try also to promote all the scientific new discoveries, and there are a lot, you can believe me, because we have more than 1,000 researchers that are finding every day new discoveries. And more concretely, I also participate in press conferences. I answer to journalist interviews. I speak during scientific congresses. Yeah. And I can also deliver scientific communication on scientific content on digitals. So the richness of this job is really the opportunity also to interact with many profiles. And this is very interesting. And I have a dream, an objective, is really to raise Shiseido at the number one innovative cosmetic company in the world. And also to make science appealing.
Yeah, sounds like it. Yeah. So you are also a person. I think I feel like that you can communicate very, I would say, dry stuff people think of in a very nice or appealing way. Yeah,
I try.
And so you mentioned what your objective is for Shiseido. So that's also relating to my next question. What makes it special for you to work for Shiseido?
Well, when I joined Shiseido 1 year and a half ago, yes, it's quite recent, I really discovered that it was the perfect mix of beauty, luxury, art, and groundbreaking technologies. So for me, it's the only company that is joining all that 4 elements and pillars. So before, I didn't really realize how powerful the research and the scientific knowledge of Shiseido were. And I thought to myself, how can a cosmetic company have such a scientific knowledge and does not communicate on it more widely? So I have a big challenge. Now, our scientific advances do not only address cosmetic fields like others, but also support dermatological field by bringing to light unknown skin biological mechanisms. And what is really magical in Shiseido is that the expertise is not only limited to skincare, but also concerns makeup and fragrance, like aromacology, where Shiseido was pioneer since many, many years. So when working at Shiseido, you should also embrace the special spirits, the values of this company, trust and respect towards employees and consumers. We are really consumer-centric.
Okay. So in which way is this different from competitors? I mean, you mentioned that those 4 fields are combined, but are there other things you consider very specific to Shiseido?
Well, Shiseido is, as you said, with the 4 fields, is a very complete expert brand. But we are really going very deep in many fields like research, skin biology, olfaction, consumer expectation awareness, formulation know-how, cosmetic ingredient sourcing, and also packaging excellence. So I think we can really consider Shiseido as a pioneer and a company that creates unprecedented products with unique technologies, such as, I don't know if you have heard about the hyaluronic acid. We were the first to produce the cosmetic biotechnological hyaluronic acid. We also created the first compact sunscreen, the first technology dedicated to sun care called wet force technology, where your sun care could be improved by water contact. So Also the aromatology benefits. Well, I have
go
a
on,
long
right?
list. And more recently, the neuroscience. The first product that integrate neuroscience inside the
Yeah,
formula.
I read about that beforehand. That's very interesting. Yeah.
Yes, this is, I think, the future of cosmetic product. But where Shiseido, I think, is definitely completely different is also that since its creation more than 145 years ago, so it's
Wow.
long ago,
Yeah, long history.
it has been providing a holistic approach.
Okay.
This holistic approach is really unique, and we consider beauty with a more global well-being, aspect. So this is the difference.
Okay, and I think another difference is also that it's from Japan, and so it has like this Japanese heritage, maybe. And so, what is specific Japanese about the philosophy of Shiseido? And I read about this timeless beauty approach or timeless beauty concept. So, what does it actually mean?
Yes, actually, Shiseido has a strong duality between East and West, as we are a Japanese brand. But we are a Japanese brand with strong codes, and you can find this code everywhere in our products. For example, in the attention to detail and the quality in our product development, in our Japanese sensibility towards package design, and also our unique appreciation of sensorial experience, which is illustrated by our textures and aromas. We have a very strong knowledge in how to make the most sensorial products. So another aspect is that whereas in the West, skincare starts with repair, in Japan, skin health and beauty start with prevention. So it is, the dual approach of beauty. So the core philosophy of Shiseido's, I would say, G-beauty, Japanese beauty, is to build the skin's power on a day-to-day basis, because skincare in Japan is really a day-to-day basis. And the skin will be ready to defend against age, against environment, against lifestyle stresses. And you know that today it is more than a trend, because everybody is completely aware and conscious of all the stresses that affect our daily life. And we are trying to fix what has already been damaged. Now with in the Western approach, we try to only to fix, and whether in Japanese approach we try to prevent that kind of damage.
So start much earlier, kind of.
Yes.
Before we are later, when it's
and
nearly too late.
Yes, and since the childhood, because Japanese women start very early to take care of their skin.
Okay, yeah,
yes,
that's
it's like an education,
Yeah, that's not very common. I just heard on the weekend we had like discussion with friends, and somebody said, yeah, I'm now 28, maybe I should start, and I think that's quite late. You should do much earlier.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. And so which product are you most proud of when you think of all the beautiful products you're like telling us about?
Well, definitely it's Ultimune. This is my favorite product. I think that this product really carries out all our DNA. It combines the preventive Japanese philosophy, the innovation supremacy, and sensorial experience. So this product is really the first cosmetic skincare which targets the skin inner defensive power. I would say the immune power. It's like a concentrate of science and sensoriality to future-proof your skin. My skin and also my mind, because it's really that, are completely addicted to it. And if one day I forget it, when I'm traveling, and sometimes I forgot it, I feel really bad, like if I was missing something very important for my, for my health.
Oh no!
So I'm really completely addicted.
So what are you doing when you forget it? Go to the next market.
I cry, and I pray to come back earlier to my home. Yeah. No, but I use another product. I cannot replace it.
Yeah,
I mean,
I understand.
It's a unique product.
Yeah. I understand. As Scientific Communications Director, Nathalie experiences the changing consumer demands in communication firsthand. I want to know from her how communication about anti-aging beauty products today is different compared to 10 years ago.
Yes, it's a really a good question, a relevant question, because today I really think that women change their mindset to aging. Mm-hmm. They shift from a negative thinking to embrace the good, really the good thing that every change in their life brings. Mm-hmm. Meaning that they try to consider that their current age is their favorite age.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, it's a different type of, embracing the life. So the recent trend of a beautiful and youthful skin is now more about a healthy skin, and this perfectly matches with our philosophy. Beyond anti-aging, women really expect to age well. Mm-hmm. In their beauty routine, they consider as much skincare product as their lifestyle, which should be a balance between mind and body. So they now expect a more holistic approach, but without compromising the efficacy of their products. So they want both. So, and this is what we achieved today with our new Benefiance launch. Mm-hmm. We really combine this holistic approach, the sensoriality, and the steering of mind and skin, mm-hmm. to provide the best efficacy. Mm-hmm. And this is what women expect today.
Yeah, sounds good. So for our closing question, as I told you beforehand, our podcast is about like the careers of the now. So what do women like you do today, and how this is also a shifting notion, this work-life balance thing. And so I wanted to know, what is your approach to like balance your, I think, very sometimes stressful working life with your private life, so that you are in balance?
Yes, I think it's the most challenging task for a woman today.
I feel so too.
Yes, I can imagine how to thrive on our professional and personal life while preserving our well-being too, mm-hmm. without forgetting us.
Yeah.
I think my credo is to achieve the perfect balance between. I have three, in fact.
Very good.
Yes,
it's always good.
The first one is everything in its own time. Mm-hmm. So I try to be 100% available and to focus, whether I'm at home or for my family, or whether at work or my job. So really, each time dedicated to each moment. The second point is to be proud. And I think it's very important for women today. So I try to find a meaning to my job. Mm-hmm. And this really helps me to love what I do, to be proud of what I achieve. And you know, I'm traveling very often. At that moment, I think every week.
Wow.
So this really helped me to resist during tricky moments and when I'm far away from my family. Justifying, and I find a sense and a meaning to what I'm doing. And the third, and the last but not least, is escape. And my way to escape is mainly through sports and exercising. Mm-hmm. So every week when I'm in Paris, I dedicate 1 or 2 lunch times to go running or cycling. Oh. And you can believe me, when I'm back to the office, I feel myself full of energy, of course, after a shower.
Sounds very good. Thank you so much, Nathalie.
You're very welcome.
It was a pleasure.
Me too.
Today's episode was sponsored by Shiseido. The Japanese beauty and skincare brand has been known for years as a pioneer in technologies and research around beauty, while still keeping and celebrating their Japanese heritage. Learn more about their new Shiseido Benefiance anti-age products in sisterMAG 47. Link in the podcast notes.
Thank you for listening to sisterMAG Radio podcast. It was a delight having you. If you liked our podcast, Please subscribe to us on iTunes, SoundCloud, or Spotify. Also, a rating or a comment or just a share on any social media network helps to get the word out. Thank you.